Started. Welcome to the community call for Spaces Protocol for May. Um, so yeah, a couple things. Buffer is doing a talk tonight at BitDevs LA, and about Spaces Protocol. So and then also next week we're planning to launch the new wallet. So a GUI wallet, which will be helpful, make it easier to bid on auctions for top level spaces on the protocol. And then after that, we will be focusing on subspaces, which should really expand out the use cases of spaces, and also provide a way for space owners to, well, not only to have top level space owners have their spaces be more useful and be able to use them, but also a way to make them more valuable and generate revenue by selling subspaces. So that will be the focus the next couple of months. We also have a couple other projects that will be announcing in the next in the next month or two, which should be interesting, and if nothing else, should probably bring publicity to the Spaces protocol. So, yeah, I think those are the updates. Buffer, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Not much besides what you said. Yeah, the GUI wallet will be launched next week. It will have like a compact node option, so you don't need to run a full Bitcoin node with the wallet. So you can just start it and create a new wallet and start bidding right away. It makes it much easier to use spaces and should open it up for a lot of the less tech savvy users.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything? Um, yeah, let's see here. Gotta figure out how to invite.
Hey. Hey. All right. I was on mute.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey. All right. So, have you heard anything or any talk, positive or negative, with this whole op return debate that's going on as far as it pertains to the spaces?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, just oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Buffer.
the new limit doesn't really affect us in any way. We only need about uh, 65 bytes, and this is only during the bidding phase. So once you register the space, we don't even use op return. Um, so it's fine. I think it's a like a good change overall because um, some protocols were bloating the UTXO set by making UTXOs with unspendable addresses to store some extra data. So in that way, they will be able to use op return directly. And I think that's better for Bitcoin. But I also understand why people want to reduce the spam on chain.
Yeah, and when we designed this, like one of the main things was to leave a really light footprint on Bitcoin, um, like not bloat the blockchain, but at the same time, I mean, like, I'm kind of a big Bitcoin maxi myself, and so we understand the important use case of money and like keeping it decentralized, like a small blockchain and stuff. But at the same time, we were inspired by that Jameson Lopp article on Bitcoin as a trust anchor. It's the most secure proof of work blockchain. So there's other use cases. So yeah, I mean, that's when we were designing it. We were designing it specifically a light footprint, but also needing to use Bitcoin for that trust anchor.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of attention. Hopefully it's good. At least it's bringing some eyes on Opportune, and maybe it'll start helping people think about what can it be used for. Because right now I'm seeing just a lot of negativity for the most part. Most people hate it. They're talking about, going to a new knots nodes instead of running core. And I was just wondering if maybe you heard something where people were talking maybe in your circles and stuff, because it could be negative for anything or any protocol that wants to use Opportune if the community at large is just vehemently against it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that much about it. I mean, Buffer probably knows more, but I know that. I mean, I was happy to see Zipkin say in the Telegram chat that he brings up Spaces as a good example of um, storing data on Bitcoin. So yeah,
I think the decision overall makes sense. I think block space should be like whatever decides the value. But like if someone thinks that a JPEG is worth $20,000 to store on chain, then it's worth $20,000 to them. If money is a valuable use case, then it will take up the majority of the block space. So that's what I think. But yeah, I mean, as far as spaces goes, we try to be as efficient as possible and use as little on-chain data as we need. Um, yeah, and that's it.
I agree. I think that identities is huge use case, and where else would you want it? Of course, you're going to want it on Bitcoin. So I think it's definitely good, and I hope that with this whole Opportune attention, that people will come around and they'll start to see, hey, look, I am saving my identity here. These .coms, Twitter, Instagram, all these places, they own my identity. So I hope it shines some positive attention on Spaces Protocol as a protocol that's doing it right. Light footprint, Bitcoin maximalist. We care about Bitcoin, so this is good for Bitcoin. It's good for all the users. And you said you had some publicity maybe coming up shortly, maybe in the next month or two. Anything further you can share on that?
yeah. Well, I mean, so we did rehire a marketing firm. So I think that'll be helpful, and we're going to launch a project that has the potential to bring a lot of publicity to the Spaces protocol. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We've been working on it, and the people in the Telegram channel will be some of the first to know about it. So yeah, I don't want to give out too much info right away right now, but yeah, it has a chance to be good for the protocol and for our company and everything. So yeah.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. You hired that marketing firm again. All right, and last question from me, I think, is about this GUI wallet. I'm excited to hear about the GUI wallet. Is it gonna be user friendly in the sense that it's a button on the website where you click it, you download it, and then you could open it up? It has an interface where you could bid on Spaces, but you can also use it on Spaces.market?
So um, so yeah, actually, Buffer, you know more about it. You've been working more closely with it. Do you want to answer?
Yeah, so yeah, you essentially download it, double click on it, you create a wallet, and you can start bidding and do stuff. And you can also use it to buy things off the marketplace and sell your spaces directly from the GUI.
Okay, good. Yeah, that sounds really good.
And
Uh,
I think Andrew requested to speak as well. Not sure if you had any questions.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, I was a bit late to the call, so I'm sure I missed all the good juicy stuff. But since you were talking about publicity, I'm going to be attending the Bitcoin conference later this month, and I was trying to think of what, if anything, I could do to kind of spread the word, generate excitement, interest, educate, etc. I'm actually going as a volunteer, so I'm going to be working the couple days ahead of the conference, and then I've got I'm supporting the open source stage on Wednesday of the conference. But otherwise, I'm free to be out and around and doing talking. So I was like, man, there's got to be something that I can do to kind of help out. So any thoughts along that line? I guess we don't have a merch store with Spaces Protocol T-shirts yet, so.
Yeah, maybe I could create some stuff and send it to you before you go.
That'd be awesome. I'm happy to, spread the word. Of course, anytime I can catch someone's ear, I will. But I don't know. I just also kind of wanted to hear kind of what. And again, you hadn't disclosed exactly, but we got some initiatives. Will these outreach initiatives occur ahead of the end of the month?
It's going to be a rollout process. So I mean, well, just to update you on everything that's going on. So yeah, we're going to launch the GUI wallet next week.
Mm-hmm.
And that should make it a lot easier to bid on top level spaces. It's easy. You don't have to like sync a full Bitcoin node and spaces and everything. It should be just download,
Mm-hmm.
open it up, and you can go. So we're doing that, and then yeah, the next couple months after that, it's going to be completely focused on subspaces and making that work.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, we did hire a marketing firm again, and also we have this other project that we're going to be launching, and yeah, that should be. It's going to be a rollout process. It's going to be first to the Telegram. Before we announce it to everyone, it's going to be we'll announce it to the Telegram group,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, it's just so yeah. So
So it sounds like not to expect anything like a Medium article or anything ahead of the end of the month. Sounds like it'll probably come after that. That's
yeah, I don't know. The marketing guy, I think he wants to start doing like talking about it soon. So, but not until we've like got it ready to do that. So it maybe in the
sure.
next couple of weeks or something.
Well, if something material comes out publicly, ahead of the last week of the month, then I'll definitely, have that to refer to and leverage and try to
Yeah.
amplify um,
Okay,
as what I
cool.
can. So yeah, just want to let you know, put myself out there as like, whatever I can do and am able to do, given the context. It's going to be a lot going on, but you know, we'll see. I'm sure a lot of folks haven't heard about it, so it's going to be new for a lot of folks to be kind of first thinking about. But I think in terms of like I just got on the call, you're talking about identity. I mean, the more and more I think about it, the more it's like kind of the next crisis is one of potentially social media impersonation rate. I think mechanisms that will help, galvanize someone's online identity and be more proof that they are who they say they are is going to be more important going forward here. That's my perception. I think these things are definitely getting. I actually had a situation where I was just trying to get some information about an order, and I kept getting these like weird kind of nondescript responses. And I'm like, is this really? And it's like, okay, well, and then I reached out a different way, and I'm like, pulled up my DM, and I'm like, well, there's no thread here. I'm like, so I asked the same question. The person like, oh yeah, here's the info. Like, well, who the hell was I talking with over here at this, in this other thread? It's like, he's like, oh, yeah, that's probably some impersonator, you know. So it just kind of made me think back to what we're doing here at Spaces and how it's kind of important, but yet largely unappreciated from that respect.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to change my headphones there. But yeah, yeah, I mean, I think, identity is going to be, I mean, that's been for years, this conviction that it's super important, and it's, it's just basically it's the second most, I mean, maybe it's the second most important thing to money to be on a blockchain. So yeah.
Yeah. I was also, and so it sounds like you're going to be rolling out the mobile or the wallet, the Mo wallet experience, and that where I'm anxious for the subspace to kind of like see some motion. I keep thinking about like, well, what can we do at the base level name perspective ahead of that function coming? And I was even thinking about things like, replicating what the NIP05 sort of mechanism is, which like, validating that a user is who they are, and then the set of relays that they can be found at is a big part of what that authorization NIP, or not, I wouldn't say authorization, identification NIP is all about. In that, but yet it relies heavily on, DNS, right? Because you're not going to get to the website without the DNS, and if you can't trust DNS, then here we are, right? So like, but then I thought, well, really should probably wait for the subspaces to come out, because once you sell or give someone that subspace, then their control of it and how that's the metadata around that really needs to flow from their focus of control, not the person that is managing the base name, right? So anyway, just some
Yeah,
thoughts.
I mean, temporarily you could like sign things with the base name until subspaces are issued, but
Mhm.
they'd basically be trusting the base name's signature, so
Yeah.
it won't be as sovereign. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of where my thought was going, right? It's like we could do some things in the interim, but then it would have to change once the subspace mechanism is fully implemented. And maybe there could be a transition, but then I was like, well, does it really, maybe it confuses the matter more than helps in the interim. I don't know. I hadn't really come to a complete thought whether it's worth going down that road or not. I kind of thought I would park the idea for a while.
Yeah, but even like if you do like initial support for base names themselves, like
Mhm.
on Nostr, that would be cool. And I guess subspaces would not be that much different once they launch.
Mhm. I was also that was part of my thought process, but then I was also thinking like, okay, once once a subspace has been created, then what's the what's needed in terms of making it have full utility, and more importantly is like for that utility to persist into the future consistently, what's the revenue model that needs to be in place to kind of support that, right? And if that's if you sell something, a subspace for a one-time fee, but yet are responsible for some interim before that person takes over the signing authority of it, then you kind of are on the hook for supporting it over time with whatever server resources that you pull together. So in a way, it's like a one-time fee isn't necessarily enough. This is always a dilemma, right? Whenever you're trying to sell something, but it has ongoing costs associated with it, no matter how small, you almost need a recurring uh, way to get in revenues in order to support ongoing costs. Yeah, it's an age-old dilemma. So
Yes.
obviously, if somebody takes, if it's a one-time thing, you say, okay, for 1,000 satoshis, I'll give you a subname. Boom, here it is. It's all yours. It's like it's up to you now to pay for whatever ongoing costs are associated with it. I'm as the base space owner, I'm off the hook. I don't have to worry about you anymore. But if it's not that way, if it's like, okay, the base space owner is creating something that has recurring ongoing costs, then you need to build a mechanism to kind of either gather revenue or have some other model of revenue to kind of support those ongoing costs. It's an age-old problem, right? And I'm trying to get away from like subscription metaphors. It's like, is there a way to do it that's less like a subscription where you're kind of like have to decide up front that you're committed to like paying a certain amount on a periodic basis for something you're not even clear what you're getting. And yeah, this is the big monetization dilemma.
Yeah, so you could do a one-time payment, and once the subspace owner gets their certificate, you don't really have that much ongoing cost besides a small entry in your database, and they don't even need to interact with you anymore if
Mm-hmm.
they did a one-time payment. So they could go on chain, claim their subspace. It will become a UTXO, and then they could move it around just like a parent space. But yeah,
Right.
whenever they need to interact with you and you uh, bundle the transactions for them, they pay you a fee. So that's also helps with the costs if it's a like a subscription model. So I think space owners would be able to choose between um, handing them out for a one-time payment or doing like a renewal type thing. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see how this goes.
Yeah. 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 And you might want to abstract it completely away from the mechanisms of the spaces protocol. If it's like a top level space that you're like running a book club or something, you may have a completely other mechanism for gathering revenues and membership and all that that's just outside of it that can cover whatever ongoing costs you have in the realm of supporting it from the spaces perspective.
Yeah, ideally it's decoupled as much as possible so that
Hmm.
uh, the base name owners have some flexibility in how they want to handle this.
Yeah, because I was even thinking too, it's like, if the base space owner like disappears or gets hit by a truck or, you got to start thinking about things like succession planning a little bit. It's like, well, what happens if, I just get tired of managing this base space? Do I want to sell it? Do I want to like, it's a property like so many other properties, right? And so you start thinking, well, how does succession planning, how does continuity planning sort of come into play here?
Yeah, if the space owner disappears, then the subspaces would have to go on chain and claim their name. They would have
Hmm.
no other choice until the base layer expires, and then someone else takes over, and maybe they start offering services for them again.
Right.
Yeah.
But then they would have to go find all the subspaces and say, oh, these are already allocated, so I can't offer them for new subspace offering. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so the
it's, I can
only
imagine
good
it
thing
getting a
about
little bit messing. Yeah.
yeah, only the claimed ones on chain are able to go back and work with the new owner.
Right. So an on-chain or an indexer kind of function would be like, here, given this expired and now reclaimed base space, scan the chain for any occurrence of subspaces of it and give me a list of all those existing subspaces. Not that I have any rights or signing authority on those. It's just that now I need to know what the existing claims are so that I can go forward with that understanding.
Yeah,
And there's
even
no way to reach out to those subspace owners. There's no linkage back to an identity. Potentially, I don't know. See, I think this is where it can kind of get interesting. It's like a convention, like, okay, create some Nostr presence based on the pub key of your Spaces wallet, then gives you at least a potential communication channel, right, back to the space owner, where you could DM that pub key, say, hey, if you're out there, I'd like to talk about your subspace or whatever.
yeah, Nostr does
Otherwise, there's
DMs.
no linkage. Yeah. Yeah. And even then, DMs are not, well, currently are kind of not as reliable as a lot of other things. Plus, it's like, well, what set of relays are even, there's a chance they could be on the other side of the world and not even using an intersecting set of relays. So any effort to DM them would go undelivered effectively. So yeah, these are, I'm
Fabric
not saying it's a good idea or a bad idea. Yeah.
you could query you could do like an IP65 relay list and publish it on Fabric, and then people would be able to discover which relays are related to your Nostr account.
Right.
But
But even that would be something that the person that holds the name would have to be conscious of generating some Nostr events that would then tie back to their space ownership. Yeah, I think these are interesting things that kind of follow after a lot of the other base level stuff kind of gets in place.
yeah, so like one example is like, let's say I register Mike at Bitcoin, and then at Bitcoin expires, they lose the key to the top level space. I take Mike at Bitcoin on chain. Then somebody else opens the auction for at Bitcoin and registers at Bitcoin, and then they try to sell Mike at Bitcoin to somebody else, like Sailor.
Right.
Let's say he wants it.
Right.
And then,
right.
and so they could sell it and get it, but I guess mine would take precedence because it's on chain, right? Buffer.
Earlier,
They would not be able to sell it.
Oh, they would. Okay.
Yeah,
it
because
would prevent the sale. Yeah.
they would not be able to prove that the name did not exist.
Right.
Because it's
Yeah, this is where the non-existence Merkle tree would say, no, it does exist. Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
It wouldn't be on the non-exist Merkle tree proof. It would be on the exist Merkle tree proof.
Correct. Yeah, every state change comes with a proof that the names they are allocating must not have existed before, and then they could allocate them. Otherwise, they would not be able to.
Yeah. All right. Well, just been kind of mulling around with some of this stuff lately.
Cool. Well, thanks you guys for your help, and I'll get in touch with you, Andrew, about maybe sending you some stuff so you could wear it, maybe a trucker hat or a shirt or something like that. That'd
If
be
you got
great.
if you got some swag, I'd be happy to represent.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. Good luck, Buffer, tonight at the talk, and
Oh yeah, good luck. Oh, by the way, you had reached out about my presentation. Seems like it's still in the edit queue, and then the guy that runs our local meetup is at the Bitcoin Plus Plus in I think Austin or Houston this week. So yeah, I don't have an edited copy, and I didn't capture anything myself. I can send you my presentation, but don't know if that's largely I went to the website and walked through the docs in explaining the auction process and stuff like that. It seemed to be where a lot of the interest was.
Okay.
How does the auction process work? You know, oh, you mean each bid is an actually on-chain transaction? Yeah. So you know, things like that. I mean, these were kind of a lot of the uninitiated sort of questions were along those lines. Yeah, so I mean, I'm happy to send it if you feel it could be of use to you.
Well, I
I might
was
have
just
sent it to you,
curious.
Mike.
I wanted to share it. I was gonna
Oh,
repost it
oh,
and all that.
oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I'm sorry. It came. I forgot where the request came from. I'll definitely put that up as soon as I have it.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to, any piece of content I can get that pertains to the Space Protocol. I'm just trying to put it out there, spread awareness,
Mhm.
let more people know about it. And I
Yep.
figured your talk at ATL BitLabs would be a great one to put out there.
Right, right. And again, I'm kind of we. I'm sure if I had the fellow on the call, it would he'd be like, yeah, it's in the queue. It's like of things we do like they do like 2 events a week, so I think he gets a little bit backlogged. And plus, they've been a lot of the folks that participate have been out doing the hackathon circuit, and then we've got our own hackathon around mining, and that's coming up next month as well. So there's a lot of activity in that respect. But yeah, I'll definitely post up anything as soon as I have it.
cool. Well, thanks, guys. I guess that's everything. All right.
Okay,
I'll
see
talk
you
to you guys
guys.
later. See ya.
All right, thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.